For thousands of years, the name Nimrod has echoed through history, the man who defied heaven, built the Tower of Babel, and united humanity under his rebellion. But what if that same spirit never died? What if Nimrod's empire, his system of power, control, and godless ambition, has simply taken a new form in our modern world? Today, we'll uncover the shocking parallels between ancient Babylon and the modern empires rising around us. The first rebel king, the Bible calls Nimrod a mighty hunter before the Lord, but ancient texts describe him as much more than that, a hunter of men, not animals. He was the world's first empire builder, the founder of Babylon, Nineveh, and cities that worshipped power, not God. After the Great Flood, people still remembered the warnings of Noah, but Nimrod challenged them. He said, "Don't depend on heaven, depend on yourselves." He convinced humanity to build a tower that reached the skies, a monument to pride and rebellion. The Tower of Babel wasn't just a structure, it was a message. We can become gods, and for that, heaven struck back. Languages were divided, nations scattered, and Nimrod's empire fell, at least on the surface. The spirit that never died, even though Babylon collapsed, its system, its spirit, survived. Every empire that came after carried pieces of it: Egypt, Greece, Rome. Each rose with promises of progress and unity, but each worshipped power over truth. The book of Revelation speaks of Babylon the Great, returning at the end of time, not as a city, but as a global system of control, wealth, and deception. It's not about a single man this time, it's about a mindset, a world where man crowns himself God again. A new empire is born. Now look at the world today. Humanity is once again united, not by language or geography, but by technology. Our towers are no longer made of bricks, they're made of satellites, algorithms, and global networks. We share one digital language, one economic system, one stream of ideas. It's the dream of Babel reborn in silicon and code. And at the center of this modern empire stands a new Babylon, the United States of America. An empire built on innovation, freedom, and dominance, yet also marked by pride, moral decay, and the worship of self. America and the Babylon blueprint, the similarities are chilling. Babylon was known for its wealth, its entertainment, its military power, and its arrogance before God. It ruled commerce and culture, influencing nations far beyond its borders. Sound familiar? America's global reach mirrors that same ancient design. Hollywood exports its values across continents. Wall Street dictates the rhythm of the world's economy, and Silicon Valley holds the keys to human thought itself. But behind the shiny surface, the cracks are showing division, corruption, moral confusion, and a rising rejection of faith. Nimrod's rebellion wasn't just against God, it was against order, truth, and humility. And once again, we see that rebellion proudly displayed in our world today. Look closer. The echoes of Babylon are literally built into modern architecture. In Washington, D.C., the Washington Monument rises like an obelisk, a design first used in ancient Egypt and later in Babylon. The very layout of the capital city mirrors patterns found in ancient pagan temples. Even America's Great Seal, the pyramid, and the all-seeing eye, represents enlightenment without God, knowledge without submission. It's not conspiracy, it's continuity. The same human desire to replace God with self, dressed in the symbols of progress. The digital Tower of Babel today, our new Tower of Babel, isn't made of stone. It's made of data, social media, and artificial intelligence. It connects billions of people, promising knowledge and power, but it also isolates hearts from faith. We live in a world where humanity believes it can create life, edit genes, and even merge with machines. Once again, we are saying, let us build a name for ourselves. And just like before, the foundation is pride, the return of Nimrod. So, who is Nimrod today? He isn't one man, he's a system. A global mindset that glorifies self over submission, technology over truth, and progress over purpose. From ancient Babel to modern America, it's the same pattern repeating. Nimrod wanted to unite the world under one order, one power, one throne, his own. And now, leaders, corporations, and technologists speak of a new world order, a world where everything, faith, freedom, even morality, becomes centralized and controlled. That's the true return of Nimrod. Not a man rising from the dust, but his ideology reborn in the heart of modern civilization. The warning of history, but history gives us a warning. Every time humanity rises in arrogance, it falls in chaos. Babylon fell. Rome fell. Every empire that tried to play God eventually crumbled, because no matter how advanced we become, truth doesn't change. We are creation, not creator. And the moment we forget that, our towers begin to shake. The final reflection: maybe the real battle isn't between nations or powers. Maybe it's between two spirits, humility and pride, submission and rebellion, the way of Abraham and the way of Nimrod. So as we stand in this modern Babylon, surrounded by wealth, distraction, and power, we must ask, have we learned from the past? Or are we rebuilding the same tower, one click, one code, one ego at a time? Because when the tower reaches its height again, heaven will answer, just like it did before. If this message spoke to you, share it. Not out of fear, but awareness. Because the real empire isn't outside, it's within hearts that forget their creator. And maybe the fall of Babel was never meant to destroy humanity, but to remind us where true greatness comes from.